Hi everybody, this is the Baseball Hut, the amazing, spectacular, terrific, the great one, the People's Champion. Your host, and welcome back to the Baseball Hut 3, and hopefully you like this video and hit that subscribe button. So I'm going to talk about in this video one of the craziest guys that ever worked any of these sports networks, and anyone that's ever worked for like the big networks is Keith Olbermann. This guy is nuts. He doesn't have a wife, he doesn't have any kids. Guy's completely out of his mind, and every so often he sort of shoots his mouth, and just loses his mind. And he's been losing his mind a lot, I guess. And this is a guy that's gotten fired more times from ESPN than you can imagine, and fired from MSNBC. But now he has like this sad, pathetic podcast, and he just went crazy on Pat McAfee. Pat McAfee did an interview with President Trump. Let me read you from Outkick. Nut job Keith Olbermann, and he's everything else. That word summarizes him completely. Nut job Keith Olbermann declares Pat McAfee an asshole, an Outkick fascist after Trump interview. Nuts. And everything that they post a quote here in the beginning of this article, everything is a lie. It's all a lie that people have said about Trump. Quote, he platformed a scumbag who mocked a POW for getting captured and World War I American soldiers for getting paid. And he platformed him on Veterans Day. McAfee is an asshole. Trump hates the troops. And you work for a website filled with fascist twerps. Well, at least he said twerps. You could say anything else he said it was bad. Anything else he said it was good. And the dead of night on Tuesday, Keith Olbermann declared that President Donald Trump hates the troops. Pat McAfee is an asshole, and Outkick is a fascist website. What triggered the former TV anchor to unleash such late-night rage from his Manhattan apartment full of rescue pets? The answer appears to be a column, I guess the writer wrote, pointing out that McAfee did not sell out when licensing his show to ESPN. His Veterans Day interview with Trump proved exactly that. Quote, and this is, I guess he put out a tweet. He platformed a scumbag who mocked a POW for getting captured. That's John McCain, the globalist. And World War I American soldiers for getting killed. That did not happen, that part. And he platformed him on Veterans Day. So in other words, he wanted to see Donald Trump censored. That when you hear about the people being deplatformed, that's censorship, censoring. On Veterans Day, McAfee is an asshole. Trump hates the troops, and you work for a website filled with fascist twerps. Okay, so this is from the writer, Bobby Burak. He retweeted the article, and Olbermann wrote to him. So I guess he didn't think that people were going to notice this. He followed up with a second tirade, reviving the long-debunked suckers and losers conspiracy. Keith isn't exactly at his best during the midnight hour. And he wrote this at 12:32. In another late-night rant this past summer, Olbermann appeared to threaten CNN conservative commentator Scott Jennings with a "your next mother effer" warning after Charlie Kirk's assassination. Completely out of his mind. He really is. When Jennings tagged the FBI, Olbermann backpedaled. This is he only meant Jennings' career would be next. Then again, just look at him. It's hard to take a man this pale, gaunt and frail at his word. Oh my God, he's terrible. Looks terrible in this picture, as you see here. So what's eating Keith Olbermann? Well, it's the ideology. It's destroying him from the inside. What fuels this venom that drips from his keyboard every few nights? It appears like so many washed-up media relics, he's suffering from a chronic case of Trump derangement syndrome. The success of McAfee, Outkick, and other new media voices seem to have also put him in a perpetual spiral, hence the asshole and fascist slurs he hurls into the void. The influence of Charlie Kirk also put him on tilt. So much so that Olbermann posted a series of vile messages about Kirk's death. In September, he even posted a video appearing to sympathize with the alleged assassin. Quote, simply a man protecting someone he loved. Olbermann said, that doesn't stupid. Days later, he told the Sinclair Broadcasting Company to burn in hell alongside Charlie Kirk. Wow. Speaking of hell, some would argue Olbermann's already there. Daily Wire host Matt Walsh is one of them. Quote, Keith, you're already living in hell. Old, unemployed, irrelevant. Fired from every job you ever had. Unmarried and childless. Spending your final years alone. Shitposted into the void. Begging to be noticed. Walsh tweeted after Olbermann's tirade about Kirk. When you die, you will leave behind no legacy, and there will be nobody to mourn you or even remember that you existed. Truly, I would rather be dead than live your life. It's rough. I cannot imagine the misery that you feel every second of the day, and you deserve all of it. And we won't mourn the woke. Keith Olbermann is a cautionary tale. We see symptoms of Olbermannism, if you will, in others, both in media and politics. Put bluntly, if you recognize the symptoms, rage, envy, a lack of sunlight, late-night tweeting, and breaking out highs while uttering the word Trump, show them this video. Show them what happens when radical liberalism and loneliness consume a man. Wow. And a video of him wearing a mask. Wow. My goodness. This is from 4 years ago. He's a known guy that's really just completely deranged. Scary part, he's a Met fan. And a big Met fan. He's got all kinds of memorabilia. It's scary that he's part of the fandom. I mean, he's really a guy, he's washed up. He doesn't have an audience at all. He's, like I said at the beginning of this video, was fired several times by ESPN. He was at MSNBC. He had several shows that completely fell on their face. He completely fell on his face because he's. It's not so much that he was like Rachel Maddow with the conspiracy theories, but he's got no personality. His personality is just rage and anger. And it's not. And he's not like entertaining. He's just a guy that reads the sports. And this is also an example, like I've talked about on this channel, where you have a guy that was in the media, that was in the sports media, then he went into talking about politics. And he's gone back and forth. And you can see this sort of, what kind of toll it's taken on him. I did a video last week on Kurt McAfee attacking the mayor of New York, Eric Adams. And now is another example of a guy that's gone back. He's going back and forth, doing politics and doing sports. In my opinion, it's not good to do both. But we see this from time to time with some of these sports broadcasters that they go back and forth. And like I said, the sports media is a microcosm of the mainstream media. Tiki Barber, who's now with WFAN and CBS Sports, he worked for Good Morning America and ABC, and he was doing serious news. Michael Strahan, NFL Hall of Famer, New York Giant, won the Super Bowl in 2008. He's a guy that had a show with Kelly Ripa for many years, a fluff show in the morning, and of course he's done broadcasting with the NFL, and he does Good Morning America now, and he does the serious stuff on Good Morning America, the serious stories on politics and what's going on in current events. And they are a microcosm of the mainstream media. And Rush Limbaugh always talked about it. And Olbermann is a victim of it, to be honest with you. His whole life is destroyed because of the politics. He's burned so many bridges, not only with, I'm sure with his co-workers in the past, people online, audience. He has a podcast. I don't know I don't even know. I probably have the same amount of people that watch that he has. And he doesn't have a problem spreading lies. Even if you would give him the truth of what's going on, he doesn't like. There's no like expansion of the mind. I would mention this about President Trump. He did mock John McCain for getting caught by the Vietnamese. But I don't like John McCain anyway because he was a globalist and he was an evil guy, to be honest with you. I think he was a double agent. But he never said the thing about American soldiers in World War I. That was a lie. Because there were people in the room that heard what he said and didn't say that. Well, you let me know what you think about this video. And of course, please subscribe to the Baseball Hut 3. It's doing really well. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.